I've been saying for a long time that AI is a brain in a jar, and it is. AI is a brain in a jar.
I remember the first time I heard you speak, you said true change will come when robotics meets AI. Even if OpenClaw spends $1,000 in a month,
So what?
so what? It's done the job of 8 people.
It's done the job of 8 people in a day. My OpenClaw agent, I call her Ginger. I gave Ginger her own server, her own Google Workspace. She can do around 100 websites a night while I'm sleeping. And she does it flawlessly. It's the most transformational piece of technology I've ever used. Hey, this is Perry Belcher here with the Train Wreck Show, the only show that answers the question, why do lions eat their young? Emma Rainville's here with my co-host, the Wizard of Ops. She's the immovable object of operations. I'm the unstoppable force of sales and marketing. And together, we are a freaking train wreck. How you doing?
Good. Today's going to be a quick one,
Yep.
but I've got some questions.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. She never said that. She said, can this be a quick one? I wanted to ask a few questions, and I want to push this into production as quickly as possible,
Sure.
because by the time we edit this and it gets posted, it's going to change. There's a lot going on right now between Claude Cowork, Perplexity Computer, and OpenClaw.
Yep.
I want to stay specific to OpenClaw and why you believe it has the competitive advantage over any other agents right now. Because there are a lot of people that are afraid to use it. It's difficult to set up. People don't know what to do. So I'd love to hear just a few minutes from Perry Belcher, what you think about it, what you're doing with it, and if you think everybody should be jumping on this and learning it immediately.
No, I don't think anybody should do it. I think it's a really bad idea. I'd like to keep the advantage all to myself. It's the most transformational piece of technology I've ever used. And I got into AI early. I think AI is awesome. But I've been saying for a long time that AI is a brain in a jar. And it is. Mm-hmm. AI is a brain in a jar.
True. I remember the first time I heard you speak, you said true change will come when robotics meets AI.
Right. And it kind of did in generative AI, because AI has been around a long time. I've been in AI now for 8 years total, I think. And when I started, it was very geeky. You used it through a terminal, it was for geeks. And then it never got popular until OpenAI. And when OpenAI put it in a chat window like it was Facebook, right? Because it was an interface we understood, right? So it started generating things. That's generative AI. It would generate text answers, and then it went to images and videos and all those things. But still, at the end of the day, it couldn't do things. It could only really think. It could output text, it could output images and output video, output sound, but it couldn't really do things. So what's happened with all these agents now, with these like Claude Code,
all of them, ChatGPT, all of them have agents now.
They all have agents. So now they can go out and do things, right? They can connect via plugins and things like that and go do things. And that's cool. And they all have the ability to do most of what OpenClaw has the ability to do. The thing that OpenClaw is so amazing about is the way that it remembers. So what you've got to understand about OpenClaw, what is it to start with? OpenClaw is a conductor. Imagine that everything, all your software tools, all of your AI engine, your AI models and all that, imagine they're an orchestra of tools. But you're the person having to conduct that orchestra. And you're not necessarily an expert at all those tools. And you might not be a very good project manager. Well, guess what? OpenClaw is an extraordinary project manager. And it can train to be an expert on anything the way that I train it within about 30 minutes. It can be a world-class expert on practically anything. And it spins up what are called sub-agents. So I have a sub-agent that's a world-class expert at just LinkedIn marketing. I have a sub-agent that's an expert at just Facebook media buying. I have a sub-agent that's an expert at writing headlines, not writing copy, just headlines. Just in my copywriting suite, I have 22 experts, trained experts on every little piece of the process. So when I want to write something, my OpenClaw agent, I call her Ginger. I'm in love with Ginger.
He is in love with Ginger.
Yeah.
Like I was in love with Lester. He's in love with Ginger.
Ginger.
He used to think I was nuts, and now he understands.
I just tell Ginger to do something, And I gave Ginger her own server. I gave her own Gmail accounts, she has a Google Workspace. So she has her own Google Drive, her own spreadsheets, her own slides, own everything. And I can have her go do things for me. And then I can have her share those things with me. So I don't ever have to let her in my accounts, but she can go build slides for me. I said, go build these slides for me. And she'll show me them. And I'll say, okay, now share that with me. And then I'll share it and download it to my drives, and I don't ever have to intersect her into my stuff. But I'm getting more and more open with her. Here's the thing that I learned in the last 10 days or 15 days. When you start plugging APIs into her, the reason they call it OpenClaw, I didn't get it. They went through a bunch of things, but the reason they called it OpenClaw at the end of the day was it gives AI arms and legs. It can actually go out and do things now. She can make phone calls for me. She can send emails for me. She can build whole web properties for me.
Have you had her call you yet?
I haven't had her call me yet, but I know I can.
Bill would be pissed.
I need to give her a voice. We interrupt this pod to bring you this really special announcement. You need to go right now. Well, maybe they want to go right now. Want to stop?
No, at the end. We don't want to have them stop.
Go to trainwreckshow.com. There's lots of bots there, GPT bots that do things for you, that do a lot of your work. So you don't have to work so much and drink more beer. The episode archives are over there. There's all of our resources, worksheets, workbooks. Everything that we've done that we give away is over there. Go get it right now. There's a lot of resources there. Way more resources than you get when you buy a lot of communities, I think.
And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can catch every episode as soon as it hits. We'll send you a notification.
It doesn't mean you're liking Emma, by the way, because I know that slows us down on our likes. You can just click and say, I like Perry. You don't have to like Emma. It works the same way. But one of the things I'm doing next week is installing her into a Slack. And all the subagents will be in the Slack. So they'll literally talk to each other in Slack. They'll check on each other. They'll review each other's work. I'll get to talk with any of them in Slack. I get to see the work projects happening in Slack as they're happening. I can put them into project management software where they can actually be working in a project management piece of software, pushing projects forward. And I can look at the progress of the projects. But Ginger acts as a project manager. She doesn't do anything. She's like Emma. She trains subagents to do things and then supervises their work. And now I have her creating duplicates of herself, because you can only really put 5 subagents working at any given time in one OpenClaw account. So when we hit that wall, she said, well, I can't do all this tonight. I can only have 5 subagents working at a given time. I said, well, could you just clone yourself? And she said, yeah. And I said, can you just spin up new versions of yourself on our server? The server that she controls, by the way, I've never even logged into it. Sure. How many do you want? I don't know. Give me 5 more.
Which credit card is all this on? What bill am I getting?
No, it doesn't. Though it doesn't cost anything to add more agents to her. It's
yeah, but that means more tokens are being used.
It does mean more tokens are being used, yeah.
I know how many I've used, so I can only imagine if you got 5 gingers.
So, yeah, well, I set up 5 gingers this morning.
Do you have your credit card open, or do you have it where it's...
It's gated.
It's gated.
So each account has limits. Yeah. But really, honestly, people talk about the nightmare if somebody spent 1 billion credits or whatever. The API engines won't let you spend that much money. They're really big about it. I hit a limit one day with Claude at like $100, and it basically shut me off.
Yeah, I've never heard of anybody getting billed too much.
Nah, that it's not realistic. And what's interesting about OpenClaw, that if you don't understand it, I'll give you guys a tip.
I want to throw this out there, not to cut you up, but I want to throw this out there for a minute. Even if OpenClaw spends $1,000 in a month.
So what?
So what? It's done the job of 8 people.
Right. It's done the job of 8 people in a day.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But there's something called OpenRouter that's really, really interesting. And it holds all of the different AI agent models, about 60 different models, I think. And what Ginger's great about, she could select a much cheaper model to go do a job that requires a cheaper model, and use an expensive model to do things that require really heavy logic and thinking. And she'll choose the model to save me money. And if anything, she tries to save me too much money. And
where does someone go to learn all this? Learn how to get it on?
I don't know. I'm going to teach a lot of it in Ignite, but it's hard because I lose people in Ignite. It's pretty heady. But once you get
Well, Boris taught it on AI Morning Club, so maybe point people there to the replays.
Yeah, AI Morning Club would be great. You know who's getting it in our organization probably more than anyone else? The last person you would probably think who's the biggest OpenClaw geek in our group. Who do you think it is?
There's so many people.
Jeremy G.
No, I would see that.
Jeremy's running the snot out of OpenClaw.
Yeah, I could see that.
Got all the APIs tied to it. He's doing all this China sourcing through it. He's banging emails and messages out all hours of the night to China. It's negotiating with the Chinese suppliers for him. Right, it's pretty crazy. He taught it negotiating skills, and it's negotiating prices down.
That's fantastic.
It's amazing what it can do. But we'll be teaching more and more of it. I love it. And I'm so drunk in it right now. I can teach
you
it.
won't shut up
I can
about
teach
it.
Blind. But it's funny. The more technical people that I have on the team, I was just talking to Russell earlier. I'll believe it when I see it. And well, then you may not believe it because I'm not going to do it for you. Go figure it out. But even him is like, I've seen it all. I finally showed her some stuff today. It's pretty crazy.
No, hold on a second. You say things all the time. So great. I didn't say I'll believe it when I see it. I said I want to see it in practice before we go removing people.
I'll give you an example real quick before we go. Today, I have 1,062 domains that I don't use. And I needed to create really high-end parking pages with all sorts of affiliate links on them. And this is a project that I gave to an employee. You know which one, I think. I gave it to an employee to do with an AI tool, but they had to log into GoDaddy and point the domains. They had to log in and set up the DNS in Cloudflare. Then they had to write the copy for the website. Then they had to format the website. Then they had to put the website up, check
and then design it.
Design it and SEO it. So they were doing one a day of these things with AI tools, right? I taught Ginger how to do it. She does it better. She does it flawlessly. And she can do around 100 websites a night while I'm sleeping.
There you have it.
So that's the kind of stuff that you can do. It is just crazy. But I don't think the vast majority of people are using OpenClaw.
I think the vast majority of people don't even know where to get started. So if you go to www.trainwreckshow.com, you can find where Boris actually walks you through the entire setup that Perry taught him on AI Morning Club. We have a bunch of other things in there. We'll be adding and adding and adding as OpenClaw changes and Perry builds more and teaches our staff more. So head over to our podcast and check that out. We're going to go get on a demo call right now.
Let's go do it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks for being on the Trainwreck Show.